Every single card for the new Shining Revelry set has just been leaked, and honestly I did not expect to be recording a video today because I actually have a sore throat, but I looked through some of these cards and they look amazing, so I had to record a video on it. I'm not going to let being sick stop me. Let's get right into it. So the first card is Banary. I don't want to talk about this too much, it's just another version of Banary. We also have a new Lopunny. This one is kind of cool because it is different. The other one you could strike the bench, but this one energy, 30 damage, 100 HP. It's just going to be another colorless option. You can throw this in whatever deck you want. And we got Beedrill EX. I already talked about this in my previous video, but just in case you missed it, I kind of think this is going to be just a decent mid-tier EX. 4 energy, 100 damage isn't anything too special, and it heals itself for 30, so it's kind of similar to Venusaur, but Venusaur is not really relevant right now, and this is just a worse version of Venusaur because it has less HP, so it's less tanky. Erica doesn't work with it. Irida will, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be anything really special. Next card is Licky. We got a new version of Licky. The previous one was an EX. This one, it's just another colorless. You can put it in anywhere. 3 energy, 70 damage is not very good. I wouldn't run this. We also got a new Licky Tongue. It has some cool art. 2 energy, 30 damage. It's okay. Oh, we got a new Wigglytuff. So this guy actually has an ability. Anytime I see an ability in Pokemon Pocket, I get excited. We're going to see more and more abilities as they release new sets because of power creep. The game's just going to get more advanced. So Comforting Song, this is an ability that once during your turn you may heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon, which is really good. You can activate this from the bench once per turn. So if you have 2 copies of Wigglytuff, you're going to be healing 40 damage per turn from your bench. And this is also a stage 1. This reminds me of the OG Butterfree that we have, but that Butterfree is a stage 2, so this is a little bit better. Plus it's colorless, so if you need to, you can put energy on it and attack with Wigglytuff. Gentle Slap, 50 damage is pretty decent. We do have Shaman, which heals 10 from the bench to all of your Pokemon, so I think Shaman's still gonna be run over top of this. This might just be like another good fun option that you can throw in there. It is a stage 1, so it will take up 4 deck slots instead of Shaman's 2. Next up, a new version of Jigglypuff. I like the art on that. And after this, we got a new Eradicate, and this guy, 2 energy, 50 damage, 90 HP, nothing super crazy. Rattata, 10 damage. That is bad. Okay, all right. Gholdengo. Also, I got to apologize right now if I pronounce these wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at pronouncing Pokemon names wrong. I'm not doing it on purpose. I've played the games, I just never said them out loud. Anyways, we got Scintillating. That is a crazy move name. Surfing, 50 damage per heads, so that means you can flip a coin for each steel energy attached to this Pokemon, so you could pretty much do infinite damage as long as you get enough steel energy. This is also stage 1, so you can get into it really quickly, and it's a Dialga target, which might be fun, right? You use Dialga, get energy on it, bring it out the next turn. You can flip 3 coins, maybe do 150 damage, or you can do 0 damage. So I don't think this is gonna be super meta just because it has such a terrible downside. If you flip all tails, you do 0 damage, but it could be decent, right? If you can somehow keep Dialga out for a while, maybe get 2 metallic turbos off, then you've, you know, like 5-6 energy, and then you can flip 5-6 coins. It's like a steel version of Celebi, except it's less consistent because it's a stage 1. We got a Varoom line. Okay, Revavroom knows Spinning Drift, 3 energy, 70 damage. It's not too much, but flip a coin. If heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. So it just disables your opponent from attacking the next turn. That's actually really interesting. We're getting a ton of steel types. The last 2 sets, this is great. We got so many new Dialga targets. It's pretty spicy. I'm sorry if I'm speeding through this video. My throat hurts a little bit, but we got Tinkatiton next. I've talked about this briefly in my last video. 170 HP. That's pretty beefy, but it is a stage 2, meaning you need to use 6 deck slots for this. Is it going to be worth it? Probably not. Terrific Thumping, 3 energy, 80 plus damage. If you flip heads, it's 160, but again, it's a stage 2. We have better options, better targets for Dialga. I think it's okay, and if you like this Pokemon, it's gonna be very usable. This next Pokemon, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Actually, I will. Grafaiai is, I don't know, I hope I said that right, but it has an awesome ability, Poison Coating. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. This is very similar to Hypno, but honestly, it's better because we have a new EX to pair this with. So you can actually activate poison coating from the bench. If you have 2 of them on your bench, that means you get 2 chances to poison their active, which is fantastic. It's also a stage 1, so you can get it up and active really fast. This benefits any deck that relies on poisoning. I could also see people throwing this in with like Darkrai or something. This is going to be a spicy splash card that's used in a variety of different decks, but honestly, every time I see a status condition card, I feel like, hey, Arceus just got buffed, because Arceus is immune to poison. A Spiritomb, a new version of Spiritomb, Confuse Ray. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active is now confused. Okay, that's decent. I think I think the other version where you damage everything for 10 is probably a little bit better in most situations. Oh, here we go. This is what I was just referencing. Clodsire EX. It knows Venoshock. 2 energy, 60 damage. It does 60 more if your opponent's active is poisoned. So 120 damage for 2 energy. And I was speculating that you would run Wheezing with it, but it looks like you're gonna run this guy because you can just evolve into him, activate poison coating if you flip heads. Clodsire is gonna do 120 damage for 2 energy, which is crazy good. This is insane. Now Clodsire again is not going to be good against you know, Arceus at all, but this is just an awesome combination that I want to try out right away. We also have Wooper, and this guy knows Poison Jab. For 1 energy, you can poison your opponent's active, which is also great. So you start, say you're going second, you attack, poison jab, poison them, and then evolve into Clodsire, and then you can finish them off. So that is great. I'm so glad they gave this a poison attack. We got a new Ekans. That's nice. I like the art on that, but I don't think this is as good as the other one. We also have a new Arbok. This is also kind of scary art. 3 energy, Venomous Fang, 70 damage, and you poison your opponent's active. 3 energy, 70 plus poison. This is not too amazing. Probably won't see that much use. We got Flamigo, double kick, 2 energy, 50 per heads. Okay, and you flip 2 coins, so that's not super amazing. Next up is a new version of Lucario EX, 150 HP, 3 energy, Aura Sphere, 100 damage, and it does 30 to 1 of your opponent's benched. Now this really reminds me of Empoleon, which I had a lot of success with. Plus fighting has a lot of options and a lot of tech right now that you can run around Lucario. I don't know if you're going to run him with the other version of Lucario. You could, but I think you're probably going to build just around 2 Lucario EXs in your deck and then put Marshadow, Hitmonlee. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Do I think this is going to change the meta? Probably not. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, of course. I think it'll be like tier 2, tier 3 maximum, but it seems like a fun card. I'm definitely going to build a deck list around it. We got a new Hitmonchan, 3 energy for 90, and that is 90 HP. So it's just a complete glass cannon. It could be good if you combine it with the other version of Lucario. That's 110 damage for 3 energy, which is actually very good, but it's just so weak. 90 HP, it's absolutely could get one-shotted easily. We got a new Machoke. 2 retreat costs are the same, but it knows Pummel, 2 energy, 30 plus damage. If you flip heads, it does 60. All right, I don't know if we'll be running this version. I think the other one does 50 for 2. We got a new Hitmonlee, probably won't run this either. Machop, okay, this guy is a 1 retreat cost. I think the other one has a 2, so we will be running this version of Machop. Gimmighoul, this pretty much says if you flip heads, your opponent can't do any damage to it. We have Drifblim, 1 energy for 40, not amazing. The new Giratina, I think this is going to work really well if you combine it with Don. So say you go first, you get to get an energy on your first turn, which we haven't had that before except for like with Misty, but yeah, this first turn energy, so the next turn you can use Don and move that energy up onto whoever you want to put it on. So I think this is actually going to be a decent card combined with Don. We got a new Drifloon, Alakazam. Oh, a new Alakazam, 2 energy, Psychic Suppression, 80 damage and 20 to each of your opponent's benched that have energy on them. So that means you can hit their whole bench if they have energy on each one for 20, or if they're building something on the bench, it's going to hit that, and then next turn you can Cyrus it out and maybe get first attack off. Now Alakazam is still a stage 2, so you got to worry about that, but psychics are actually fairly reliable with slabs, so you can kind of search and thin out your deck a little bit more. I don't know, I don't think it's going to be crazy, but this is going to be a fun card that I definitely am going to try out. We got a new Mr. Mime, 2 energy, 20 damage, and you flip 4 and it does 20 more, so it can do max 80 damage if you flip all heads. That's decent. I probably won't run this. We got Kadabra, okay, Palmo, 2 energy, 40 damage, and then a new Abra too, which we will not be running. We want the teleport variant. We got Electrode, another Electrode. This is like our third one. It knows tumbling attack, 2 energy, 50 damage, and if you flip heads it does 30 more, so 80 for 2. Decent. I think I would rather run the version that does 70 guaranteed and it has no retreat cost, so we're probably not going to be using this. Palmy's good. Voltorb, all right, another version of Voltorb. We got a new Pikachu EX, which I talked about briefly in the last video. 3 energy, 150 damage with Thunderbolt, and you discard all the energy. This is just going to give you a really good option to put in electric decks. Maybe you put Magneton on your bench, combine that with Don, you can attack early. There's just so many different options for this. I'm excited to see what people cook up. I have definitely been cooking, but I'm not going to spoil it yet. We got Dondozo. So this guy, I don't think we're going to be attacking, but I'll read its attack off. So 4 energy, Ocean Cyclone, 80 damage. This attack also does 10 damage to each of your opponents benched, kind of like Blizzard. Well, actually Blizzard I think does 20, right? But the main key takeaway from this card, for me at least, this is what I see, is 120 HP, so it's pretty beefy, 3 retreat cost. But if you combo it with Tatsuguri, it has the ability retreat directive. Your active Dondozo has no retreat cost, so it turns this guy into a tank with no retreat cost at all, which is really good. So you sit Dondozo in the active zone. You can even throw Misty on it if you really want to. I don't know, you probably won't, but if you wanted to, and then you play Tatsuguri whenever you want, and you can just retreat for no cost. So that might be a really cool combo I want to try out. We might be seeing that pop up a lot. Next up, we got Wugtrio EX, which I believe to be the most fun card we're gonna get in this set. So this guy knows pop out throughout, 3 water energy, which is very easy to get with Manaphy and Misty, and it says one of your opponent's Pokemon is chosen at random 3 times. For each time a Pokemon was chosen, do 50 damage to it. So it's a weaker version of Dragonite's attack, but it's cheaper and much more consistent, and it's a stage 1. So I actually think this is gonna be pretty good, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to use. Also got Wiglet, which chooses one of your opponent's Pokemon and does 30 damage to it randomly, which is decent. Floatzel, it says this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, so we're getting a stage 1 Pokemon that can target their bench for 30. It's actually not too bad. Next up, we got Tentacruel, a new version of that, 1 energy, 40. Tentacool. We got a Tauros, Fire Tauros, 110 HP. It knows Blaze Tackle. It does 10 damage to itself, 80 damage though for 3 energy, which is decent. You can actually use Moltres with this, which makes it even better. Maybe just throw this in a deck that runs Moltres. We have a Magmortar, which is a stage 1. It has 120 HP. Smoke Bomb, 3 energy, 70 damage, and if your opponent flips tails, their next attack does not happen, which is decent too. We got like 2 versions of this attack in this pack. Magmar. We got the new Charizard, which I don't know if it's going to be as good as the old Charizard, but it's going to be a different option, and it will allow you to play without Moltres. I'm just worried because if you activate Stoke and Charizard's in the active zone, after you use Stoke, you pass your turn, so they get first attack on Charizard, which you don't really want because it's your win condition, right? Like you want to win with it, so you don't want it to take damage. It doesn't really make much sense to me. But I mean, and it has a higher retreat cost too, so I'm not really too sure about this. Maybe it will be good. New Charmeleon too, as well as a new Charmander. We also got a Meowscarada, and it knows Fighting Claws, 2 energy, 60 damage, plus 70 more if your opponent has an active Pokemon that's an EX. So that's really good. That's 130 damage for 2 energy. Now it is a stage 2, but it is grass, which I like that typing. Of course, you got Erica, you got other things that work with it, and you can maybe start with Celebi in your active, and then since this guy only costs 2 energy, he's very cheap, and you can bring him out later in the game and finish off the game with 1 attack. This might be an interesting play. And then we got its other evolutions. New Pinsir, which is horrible. Beedrill too. Beedrill EX is something I'm very excited for because it says, because for 2 energy you can deal 80 damage and you discard a random energy from your opponent's active. Now I'm going to tell you why this actually might be fairly good. First off, 80 damage too is great, and discarding doesn't allow them to build up, plus it has 170 HP combined with Erica and maybe Cape, and it's going to be very hard to take down Beedrill. We also have a new Kakuna, which can paralyze your opponent's Pokemon if you flip heads. We have a new Weedle, which brings a Weedle out of your deck, which is very good because it thins out your deck a lot. We have a Cyclizar, which knows over acceleration, 1 energy, 20 damage, and during your next turn's Pokemon's over acceleration does plus 20 more. So that means after you attack with this, you're just going to continuously do 40 damage for 1 energy, which is not that bad because it has 80 HP. So it's, maybe you could argue that's like a better Farfetch'd. Oh, also Sprigatito allows you to search for a random grass Pokemon. So that means that this Pokemon line is way more consistent. It's a stage 2, but it's consistent because its basic can search for its evolutions, which is great. We have a new Riolu, Pachirisu, which I talked about briefly, but it's a ramper for electric. Electric actually got some really nice tech with the new Pikachu and Pachirisu. This is great. It allows you to put an electric energy onto your bench. Fantastic, of course. I feel like we're getting a new energy ramper every set now, which makes sense because they're trying to balance everything by slowly, giving each type a different one. Next up, we got a Machamp, a new version. This is a non-EX, 2 energy, 70 damage, but if you have 2 more fighting attached, it does 50 more. So it's 120 damage for 2 energy, well, actually for 4 energy, 120 for 4, which is very expensive, but you're going to be doing 70 damage for 2 energy, which is not that bad. Plus has 150 HP. That's pretty beefy. Only a 2 retreat cost 2, which is nice. I actually think this Machamp's pretty good. So we got a new version of Bidoof, the GOAT, the god Pokemon himself. That's awesome. And a Palmot. Wow. All right. This guy has an ability too. Counter attack. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 20 damage to them. So it's pretty much the same as Druddigon and Poliwrath, and 2 energy, 70 damage is actually not bad. Plus it has no retreat cost. So when it does get low after, using its counter attack, you can just retreat it the next turn. Pretty good, actually. That's not that bad. I like Palmot. Now it is a stage 2, so it might not see that much play because it's pretty inconsistent being a stage 2 and you don't really have many searchers for electric yet. So we need to talk about a couple new supporter cards. We have Team Rocket Grunt, which says flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, which is good, right? Maybe. I mean, if you flip heads even once, you're discarding 1 energy from them, which is huge. That is such a big advantage, removing an energy at a crucial time. Now, if you get this late in the game when they're already fully set up and they have abundant energy, like they've used Manaphy twice or something like that, this might not be too amazing, but it could be, because it reminds me of Misty, where you can flip infinite heads. So that means you can just flip 4 heads, remove 4 energy. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. What do you guys think? Let me know. I feel like this is pretty toxic and I'm surprised we're getting it so early. So of course, but it is a 50-50 chance. But I can see so many people's ranked experience getting ruined when someone just pops this down and then all the energy that they've been working to build up is just gone. That'd be so sad. This is kind of a scary card. We also have Red, which makes your attack do plus 20 to your opponent's active EX. Really good. I think everyone's going to be running this. There's so many EXs that are going to be super dominant, especially in ranked. You're going to need to have Red in your deck, at least 1 copy of him. We also have Pokemon Center Lady. This is a new supporter that heals 30 damage from 1 of your Pokemon, and it recovers from all special conditions. This is great, especially if we have those new poison types running around. You're going to be able to, or just wake up. You'll be able to wake up from sleep, and just healing 30 is great. You can use this on any typing. So all those types that didn't have an Irida, didn't have an Erica, they got even better. Wow, that's so cool. This is such a fun card. I think this is going to be used in every deck too, easily, at least 1 copy of it. Next, we got Iono, which allows you to shuffle your hand in your deck and draw that many cards. It is a -1 because you play it, and then once you play it, you're removing a card from your hand and you're only drawing the same amount that you put back in the deck. So it is a -1, but this could be really good early game if you have a really bad hand. We also seem to have a Crown Pokeball. Whoa, this is cool. Okay, that looks really cool. It's just definitely just a flex. We got, okay, the normal version of these cards, Red and Iono. Ooh, okay, here, let's look through some of these. Oh, we do also have the new shiny rarity, which is what this is right here, which I think is pretty cool. We're gonna have to see what they look like in game. These are also some of the promos that we'll be getting that I'm going through really fast. Oh, this is so cute. I actually love this art. That looks really clean. Oh, we're also getting a Mewtwo shiny variant. Wow, I can't believe they're releasing a version of Mewtwo. Okay, Beedrill. He looks so funny. Okay, two versions of the barrel. We got the rainbow arc too. It's so derpy, dude. It actually looks awesome though. Wigglytuff, hyper realistic, kind of creepy with those eyes. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We also got a Gholdengo. Is pretty. I'm not sure about that either. Revavroom, shiny version, very cool. Tinkatiton, this is trippy. Wow, I like this art a lot though. It goes perfectly with the rainbow border. Varoom, again, shiny. Tinkatiton EX, the full art version. I don't know what you call it. Grafaiai. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at saying this name. Let me know in the comments how to say it, please. That's pretty cool. Clodsire, that is so cute. This is another hyper realistic one. I actually like this one a lot though. And then Clodsire, what is this? Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. All right, Lucario shiny. Wow, that's cool. Giratina EX. Oh, that is kind of scary looking actually. I like it though. Lucario 2, another version of Lucario. Hey, let me know which one you like the most out of all these cards I've shown so far in the comments. Pikachu. Whoa, this Pikachu looks amazing. I love that. I really like that. Tatsugiri, which we saw previously. Another version of Pikachu. I definitely like the other one more. Dondozo is such a clean, shiny version. That looks, I love the yellow. That's so cool. Okay. Wugtrio too. That looks really good. Blue. And then you have the other version of him. Wiglet also. Charizard, which I'm definitely going to be going for. The dark Charizard looks amazing. I think that's definitely a fan favorite. Okay, this guy is just meditating, just chilling out. Charizard, all right. Charmeleon too. That looks, oh man, I wonder what the rarity is for these shinies, because you're gonna have to pull a full evolution line, right? Because you're gonna have to pull the full evolution line for it to match in your deck list. Oh wait, Charmander looks really cool too. I can't skip past that. That is a cutie right there. We got Meowscarda, and this kind of looks like Attack on Titan, just chilling on top of a building. We got Beedrill, the shiny version, the green version of him, and then this version of Beedrill, Kakuna. Yep. Riolu too. Wow. Weedle. I hope these aren't super rare. I hope these are like obtainable. You know what I mean? I hope they're not impossible to get. But I think that's all the cards in the new set. I know I made this video a lot quicker than some of the other review videos, but my throat is definitely really hurting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be streaming the new set when it comes out.